JJ and Bossy Pig. You guys are living life of Riley out here. Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. Today I'm starting out the day with a little bit of fence fixing. This is my box of fencing goodies. Everything I could need parts-wise to repair a fence. As for tools, well, not many are needed, but I can't forget my favorite pliers. Let's go. Here we are. We're going to start right in this corner field. Everything looks nice and green these days. I do fence fixing field by field, of course, and the first thing I do is drive around the field and look to see what problems there are and where the source of the problem is. So here we've got a 2-wire fence, and both wires still look nice and tight. I guess we had a good dew last night. The tires are really wet. Pay special attention to the corners out. I've got a problem here. The wire's off the insulator there on top. Let's go down here and see what's going on. Wire's all saggy on top. Huh. I'm coming to the end of this run and there are no problems, so that's a problem right there. We got a post that's still in its seat here, but has come out on this end. Come on up. And then there's an aluminum doodad that's got knocked around here somewhere. There it is. It got kicked way over here. This guy. This is my bracing system for the fence. It's a compression member, architect speak, that holds the fence tight from sagging. And that was the problem on this run. I fix fences every year at this time. The cattle are going to go out on pasture, maybe this week, but certainly next week, not later than that. And my attitude on fencing is keep it cheap and keep it easy. We don't have animals that are rushing fences, so overkill is not necessary. Tons of investments not necessary. We run T-posts at 30 feet apart on the lines, and we run 2 strands of 12 gauge wire and cheapo insulators. I have never been a fan of putting lots of money into fences, especially when you have such tame animals. It just doesn't make sense. An animal doesn't want to go through a fence unless it's missing something on this side of the fence, at least in our experience with our animals. So if we give them plenty to eat inside the fences, there's not a lot of pressure on the fences. 2 wires does just fine. And they gotta be hot. They gotta have a good amount of jolt running through them. We keep, I don't know, 6,000 or 8,000 volts on them most all summer. Now that I got this corner fixed, I can go down the line here to the tensioners and tighten everything up a little bit. The grass is definitely growing. We got alfalfa coming up and orchard grass. It'll shoot right up if we get a little rain tonight. Hey, here comes Henry.
I'm on.
All right, here we go. The only maintenance I do aside from fixing fences here and there is I go under them with my Farmall H and the sickle bar mower once or twice a year and clear out any undergrowth. It's not so much the dead stuff you worry about, it's the live stuff that conducts electricity. But I found that vegetation grounding out a fence doesn't add up to much. It's dead shorts that you want to look for, and that's metal to metal short. Here's our tensioners. Let's check that. Give it a little test, a little bit more. Then after fixing what was wrong, we drive back around the fence and look and make sure that everything is still kosher. I can't believe in this day and age people still throw trash out the window, but that's what happens. Beer bottles and fast food packaging. Yeah. Here come the cows. Every time I'm working out here, they come think that I'm going to let them out. They'll probably be yelling at me. It's not time yet, guys. Hey. How did all this stuff get here? On my pasture, killing my grass. The day before yesterday, they started hauling in fill for the barn addition, and there's 8 dump truck loads here. The contractor wanted this here, so when he gets to work and they're hauling more fill in, he says it's going to take 20 truckloads. in between when the trucks are showing up, he's got spare stock to keep him moving, because once he gets in here, it ain't gonna take him long to do his work. I bet you he built the big barn in 2 weeks. So it's just him and his son. They'll be done in less than 2 weeks for this. So I got to deal with this here. He's going to show up, let's see, the beginning of the 2nd week of May, he says. Put it in neutral. You always check for neutral before you do anything. You want the throttle about halfway up. You don't need to mess with these levers because they control the hydraulics. Don't need to mess with that. You do need to steer. It's good to have the clutch pushed in when you start it. This is the ignition switch. Pull that out.
Oh, this is the brakes, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Make sure you're in neutral, especially with me standing in front of the tire. And the starter is you pull this rod right here. Just pull it.
This rod?
Yep, momentarily. The alternator. The belt needs to be tightened up. Go around these wagons here and kind of hug the fence line, and then we'll come up along the woods and check the fence up there. Okay. Now ride on the wagon.
Good.
Tally ho.
Oh, I forgot to put it in 2nd gear.
That's reverse. Ease out on the clutch, okay?
Okay.
I think his legs are long enough to reach the clutch and the brakes. He's 6'1", taller than me. If there's a weak link to this fencing system, it's these corner braces. There's this manufacturer that I use, and these are quite expensive. And then I wouldn't buy anything, well, I shouldn't say this. The orange insulators, I won't even touch them anymore. All kinds of problems with them. We got a problem here. There's not enough tension on this fence to hold this tight, so we got to go around, find what the problem is on these wires here, which seems to be a break or a wire off an insulator down the line. Learning how to drive a tractor on camera is not the best way to learn how to drive a tractor. Lots of nerves. I said slow on the clutch. A little bit slower. Leaves are starting to come on the trees. Here's one of the sources of our sagging wire. The corner came apart. The fence holds up fine in the summer. What happens though is in the winter the deer run through it, and then the weak link in the fence breaks. Henry tells me there's another problem up the line here. Oh, here's our other problem. Deer really ran through that section, dragged the wire right in the field.
It goes all the way down to the gate.
Wow. He must have been booking across here. You can take that end all the way down the corner, I guess goes, that's how far it is, right?
Yep.
Looks like the woodchucks have woken up for the spring too. Hey buddy, you down in there? He's not answering me. I have often used crimp-on splices for these wires, but I find that when the deer run through them, it's the weak point in the fence and they usually give way. So I'm going to use a pretty common knot here instead of using crimps, and it has the added bonus of I don't have to pay anything for it. So you just fold them together like that to begin with. This knot I'm trying is a figure 8 knot, and I'm not sure that I have it correct here. But you can see we've got a figure 8 here with a wire wrapping around, and then I believe you take the tail of one wire and you wrap it around the other like this. And then you take the tail of the opposite wire and you wrap it around the other wire like this. The place I got this from says it's 76% of the strength of the entire wire. And when you put tension on it, it'll pull all this tight. We'll see. We're going to go back down and tension the wire back up. Go easy on me. Oh, you got to get the hang of that. Yeah, are not held up real good, and this conducts electricity better from one side to the other because you've got them lapping over each other. You know what I mean? Riding on a wagon, looking at the grass go by beneath your feet is a pretty fun thing to do. That's it for this field. Fence is all good, ready for cattle. We took a break from fencing because we got another job to do. You guys have retreated in here for the afternoon, huh? A little cooler. Hey, JJ. Bet you've never seen us do this before. We're going to clean out pig pens, except this time we don't need to clean out JJ and Bossy Pig's pen because they just keep dragging mud in from the outside and bringing it outside, and they can go lay in the hay if they want someplace dry. You can go with Mom and Bossy and Brownie's pen. And I'll take care of JJ, or Billy. Boy, I can't remember names anymore. I don't want to work around with me. Many hands make light work. Keep it down. There you go. He's just a big baby. Hey, Billy. Hey, bud. You just like to mess with me, don't you? Yeah. You're very demanding. You're used to having pets. Brownie doesn't move. She just sits and watches.
You want to go? Here you go. Yeah. I think you're getting close.
Yeah, her udders are filling up.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's today or tonight.
Yeah. Brownie's 4 days past due with her piglets, but she is huge, and I noticed in back she's dilating, so that means pretty soon. Yeah. At least it's not 30 degrees out. Want to dance? Yeah, we're dancing. You're a good pig. I got a plan for fixing this manure spreader without having to pitch the whole thing out. I'll show you, but not today. Some of you may remember this tree. I spent all last year going around it while I was making hay. This is related to fixing fence, kind of. We're clearing stuff that's down. Oh, there's another one down over there that we're going to have to take care of. Box elder. It burns, just doesn't provide a lot of heat. It's good for fall and spring fires.
Are they related to box elder beetles?
They are. Yep. Box elder beetles like to eat box elder and maple. Box elder is closely related to maple. Another box elder down. little bit of firewood. All these little branches out of here.
I'm gonna need to make more space on the trailer.
I thought there was only one tree down here, but turns out there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Don't smell like box elder. Looks like sumac, but it's harder than sumac. I don't know. We're going to take a ride around the rest of the field and make sure we didn't miss anything. I like riding for a change. Getting out and fixing fences in the spring is a good way to ride around the whole farm and see what's what. See what needs to be taken care of. Like these trees. This is our farm water purification system. This swale runs at a gentle slope, kitty corner, from one side of our property all the way down to the corner of our property, and the water runs real slow that drains off the land, and everything that might be in it, topsoil and anything else, drops out in the swale. Purifies the water. This is our last tree to get. On this field anyway. Yep. This is another box elder, and it's seeding already. Pretty cool looking, isn't it? Most people think of box elders as garbage trees, but every part of nature has some kind of beauty to it, that's for sure. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cut it down. I have to, it's in the way. Well, we'll go up here first. We'll go up here. That's better. That was a good bit of work done.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. Did you like driving the tractor?
Yes.
Yeah. It'd be easy to get Henry to come out and help me with this and that, as long as it involves driving the tractor. Hey Henry, I heard a good joke, and you won't believe where I got it.
Where'd you get it from?
Mom gave it to me. Where do pirates buy their hooks at?
Where?
You know their hooks? Second-hand stores.
What is a second-hand store?
It's where they sell used things.
Oh.
But it's also where they sell second hands.
Fair enough.
Onward and upward, Henry. Oh, I gotta fix that belt. Ugh. Time for afternoon chores. That's my day. Today I'm thankful that Hillary and I can preserve the same lifestyle that I had growing up. The things I did with my grandfather, we can do with our children. And I believe still, in this day and age, that the best way to bring up kids is with lots of outdoors activities. Farming is a good outdoor activity. And just letting them experience work, nature, the seasons, the cycles. That's a well-grounded person in my book, and I'm thankful for it. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. I heard something very interesting in here. Oh, look at that! Brownie! There's a little piggy. You're having your piglets. That's a nice looking one. And here's 3 more, freshly born with their ears still pinned back. I guess stay tuned for the next video and we'll see how many she has. Have a great day.